Welcome to the Wilson Management Facebook training for trades and construction business owners. Guys, this can be a completely free course that I would recommend you watch all the way through. We're going to go through each one of these phases here on how to generate your company qualified leads for the jobs that you actually want to be doing. So I'm just going to jump in here. This is one of the client CRMs that we're doing for a renovation ad. So it's a very high ticket offer. We're doing about $20,000 to $30,000 per job in that range on average. You can see here 4 clients closed. We're coming in at 61K in revenue. Another 6 for follow up, 41 qualified leads. So we have $123,000 in the pipeline, and these were all generated in the first 3 or 4 months of 2022. So this is very relevant. This is what's working right now in the industry. This is how you can achieve these statistics on your advertisements instead of just wasting your money and not getting any jobs or return. So we've basically taken this entire sales cycle and just dumbed it down to 4 points here, 2 points once the lead comes in, and then an email follow up and a CRM into a closed sale. So it's 1, 2, 3 steps, and we'll go through it and we'll make sure that you have a somewhat of a deepened understanding from where you're at now on how this process works. So a little bit about Wilson Management. I'll just show you guys some slides here. We have been generating businesses in the trades and construction industry leads for the last 2 years. We've been able to get very, very well on it, come in a lot lower on a cost per lead basis because we have orientated ourselves to that construction and trades industry. We have a few case studies here I'm sure you've seen, but this one right here, an electrical company that was installing permanent house lighting. They did $2,000 in ad spend, got 331 leads. With that, they closed $65,000 in about 2 months from November to December 2021. More results here. This was the renovation one we were just looking at. So an average cost per lead of $17 coming in. And then you have a look here, just the communications that we're having. So not only are we getting trickle off through referrals, $10,000 job with another 10,000 referrals, we're able to hit these metrics on that CRM and make sure that we're generating money from our advertisements. I'll go through a few more here, guys. So this is a roofing company. So we have commercial and residential sides on things, and they've done in the first 3 months of 2022 an additional additional $111,000 on their revenue. Here's another one for AC installs, another plumbing one. This one right here has generated 91 leads, about $100,000 in revenue last time we talked to the owner on that one. So that was a really good one. This one right here was for fixtures, getting fixtures, and this might be a different one. This one is for, this was for tankless water heaters installed. So another 21 leads. And guys, one thing that we like to stress is with these leads, even if you're not closing every single one, getting in the house, being able to upsell and sell the client on a booking is crucial as well. We call it hyper word of mouth marketing. You're going to be able to get into that sales environment where the homeowner has invited you in there, and you're going to be able to close, get a referral, just build rapport in general. So how is our results? Here's some of our statistics. The average US cost per lead in these industries right here, and this is our average cost per lead in those same ones. So I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. Not too much else. We can just jump into how we're going to get this done. So I want to show you guys the front end of Facebook here, and this is a mistake. Write this one down. Never, ever, ever boost a post from the front end of Facebook. This one right here is a post that we made that was essentially the exact same copy we were running on the ad. As you can see, 57 people reached. You boost this post, you're not going to get any results. You're going to have a call now button. You're going to spend $500 on a budget. It's not going to go anywhere. I can promise you that. And the worst part about it is you're not going to be able to track any of it. So delete that philosophy out of your mind that Facebook advertising, number one, doesn't work. And number two, boosting post and calling that an advertisement. So just snub that out. Focus on this strategy right here. Very, very simple. So phase one, we want to know what job you want. What job do you want to have more of? Is it roofing, like high ticket roofing, uh, water tank installs, fixing, doing redoing fixtures? Could be water tank replacements, furnace installs, AC installs. The list of advertisements that we ran goes on and on. We've even been able to do custom housing for log and cabin homes at an average CPL of $20. So just listen, make sure it makes sense, and feel free to reach out to Wilcia team if you have any questions. So this is typically how it's going to break down on the math side of things and how you're going to know whether or not you're going to make profit. So you have to have about a $50 CPL in that range, cost per lead. And that way, you know, every $1,000 you spend, you're going to get 20 leads in. Then we work the math backwards by implementing the immediate booking and the follow-ups. So we want to have a closing ratio of about 25%. So for every 20 leads we get in, we want to close 5 of them. So just take out your calculator right now. You got 5. The cost of your most profitable job that you want to be doing, you can do revenue, you can do the profit on it. What's that revenue going to look like? So let's say for AC install, we're going to be looking marginally, let's say $3,500 for a decent install. Multiply that by 5. You're going to have $17,500 in revenue for every $1,000 you spend. And then this is the part where I was speaking to earlier, where you can start replicating out exactly how that advertisement is running, and essentially streamline all of this system right here for yourself, which we will get into. So that's enough about us. That's enough about the theory behind it. Let's jump into it. So let's start here. As I was saying, making a post like this and boosting it, no good. So if you're typically using the front end of Facebook, I'm going to introduce you right here to Meta Business Suite. So this is where you manage all of your post stories. You can have advertisements, which we're going to get into. This is kind of the hub for your business that Facebook gives you. You can manage your inbox from here. It's the essential tool that you want to be using to manage your Facebook page. Getting into the runoff from the ads, you should be responding to your inbox semi-frequently, but we'll get into that. So if you are just starting Facebook, you may or may not have your ad account set up yet. So you're going to come here. So that was just, you're on business.facebook.com. So you're just going to type that one in, business.facebook.com. Get that one in there. Boom. It's going to spit you right back to this page we were just on. Then you're going to go over to settings and you're going to see whether or not you have an ad account set up. So on this ad account, you're going to run all of your advertisements. So we're going to hit business assets and we're going to go over here to pixels. Oh, sorry, ad accounts. My bad. I'm one step ahead. So we're going to go over to business ad accounts. So you're going to have this ad account right here. And if you have it, you can hit all tools, come down here to ads manager, and it's going to put you right onto this page right here. So this advertisement right here that we're running has 77 leads in, average CPL in that $50 range. So we know exactly how much money we're going to have to spend to get that 20 leads in. The more you can bring this down, the better. It is a little bit seasonal, but having it in that $50 range is very optimal. So just like the math we're talking about right here, you have to have that 25% closing ratio to be hitting those numbers. But we have only $3,800 in ad spend. So let's say realistically 2 or 3 sales, profit on those 2 or 3 sales is going to cover that. So you're not only going to be in the house selling, you're going to have an opportunity, if all of these leads somehow are the worst leads in the whole entire world that you've ever paid for in your entire life, and you close, let's say 5 of them, you're going to not only be making money, you're going to have that opportunity to go back into those clients and ask for referrals in the future if you did a good job. It's a little bit of a hyper word of mouth, we call it, where you're getting 77 leads in, you're booking at least a quarter of those, and then you're closing on a fraction of those as well to make money at the end of the day. So this is our summer AC lead gen, and I'm going to walk you through on a brand new campaign how we set this up. So this is your back end of Facebook. This is where you run all of your campaigns from. Not on the front end like I was talking about. This is where you set up a proper campaign and have the opportunity to market like those big competitors. This is where they're running all of theirs from. And another resource here, just briefly, a great resource is the Facebook ad library. You can come in here and have a look at all of your top competitors in your city as well, such as Facebook ad library, your region, all advertisements, and you can start looking up all of the competitors that you have. So let's say Edmonton Plumbers. It's going to work here. I'm going to be able to check out all of the competition here and see exactly what they're doing and kind of keep myself dialed in on the industry. So this one, a very, very, very broad advertisement. I wouldn't anticipate it's making too much revenue. But more, I mean, it's still better than spending money on a billboard these days, but that's how it goes. Okay, so close this up. Let's get into it. We're right here. Let's pick our job. For us, this client has told us they want more AC installs. Okay, great. I'm going to hit create in the top left corner. I'm going to go to lead generation. Simple enough so far. Continue. So now I'm going to get faced with this screen right here, which is the campaign overview. I'm going to go May long AC lead generation ad. Just keep it organized. Make sure that you can always refer back to these in the future and know what campaign was what. So you're going to come down here. You're going to hit CBO, campaign budget optimization. For these sub $1,000 per month ad spends, even into the range of $2,000 per month, this is by far going to be the best option that you can take. And then $33 a day is going to put us at $1,000 per month. Anything lower than that, it's just going to delay out how many leads you're getting over a longer amount of time. Whereas if we can start with $1,000, Facebook is going to figure out the algorithm really quick on who that advertisement should be published to and who's converting on it. So you kind of let Facebook run their magic there. And then same thing. I'm going to hit instant forms, and I'll show you how to set that one up in the future. Your Facebook page, obviously, you're going to come in here and click that one. It might show you these terms here, but just accept them because you just need to include a privacy policy there. So May long is going to run this weekend. Set an end date for Monday, and we're going to do kind of a blitz campaign here, let's say. So this is the audience part that we're getting into. So the audience and demographic. Who's going to buy your stuff? This is a common mistake I see a lot of businesses doing as well, is they'll be located in, say, Markham, Ontario, but they're running their ads all across Canada. Why does that make any sense? Are you going to drive across Canada to install an AC unit? Absolutely not. So you're going to come in here, go to your city, type that one in, and then if you want a broader region, I usually say keep it within 25. Keep that drive however long you want to drive, right? Could be 45 minutes for a job if it's big enough. Fair enough. So let's do 30 miles. Now, this is the tricky part because you used to be able to target homeowners. You have to get around that by hitting these demographics right here that you're going to want to be targeting. So homeowners are going to be interested in what? Definitely Home Depot. So these are all the interests and behaviors on how people interact. So every single time I go to my Facebook search bar and I'm searching up something along the lines of, actually, we can even make it a little bit more specific and go over to Marketplace. And I'm going to look up garden tools. Every single time somebody does one of these searches, it's letting the Facebook algorithm know what kind of stuff they're interested in. They could be searching up, literally they could be doing air conditioner searches, and those are going to be some very profitable leads for Facebook to push our way. So Facebook is going to figure that one out for us, just so long as we set the audience here broad enough to make sure that we're going to target a demographic that's going to be a homeowner in Edmonton. So obviously we can start here with home, hit the suggestions after that, home improvement, house, all of these ones, guys, right? So get all of the property ones out of the way. And it doesn't have to be too specific. If you're looking at one and you're kind of like on the fence about it, hit it anyway, because what we're going to be able to do here is turn on the detailed target expansion. So it's going to, again, hone in our audience for us, where we can take a look at these buyers right here, these potential leads that we're trying to target in Edmonton that are interested. We're just keeping up with the suggestions, everything like that. Then you're going to want to come in and get a little bit more specific after you've selected enough. Air conditioning. Even typing in, it's a good try to see if the product that you're trying to sell is in there, because people could be searching that up on Facebook as well. So you guys kind of get the point here, just making this as broad as possible. I would sit here and probably put about 80% of these in there, as long as you take a look at it and make sure that it's somewhat relevant. So central heating, air filters, etc. Then this one is typically 50-50. I would leave this one on all, but hitting that age range, people who are first time buyers, just getting out of the house. Facebook is going to make this automated for us. So we just have to make sure that we have a broad audience size here and let Facebook do the rest of the work. Next, depending on what kind of content you have and what you're running, I would recommend jumping over to Canva with your images that you have of your jobs. Make sure that the content that you're running is as high quality as possible. That's really a must. And then Facebook is going to run in two different crop sizes. So when you come down here to automatic placements, you can see everywhere that advertisement is going to go and what size of content and creative you're going to have in terms of picture or video to fit on that one. For me, the typical best practice is to have at least 4 selected on here, but kind of get rid of this one, get rid of Messenger. We don't need those. We're doing lead generation, Instagram Explore, Facebook video feed, Marketplace, Facebook feed, etc. Search, another decent one. In article, I get rid of that one. So making sure it's going to be on or as close to the timeline as possible, so that when somebody is going through Facebook, they're going to have it as close to this experience as possible, and less so up here in the top right corner. So this one right here is the right hand column, which would be right here. Don't want it. It's going to be a very low converting advertisement up here. We want these ones up here. We can have people click on our ad to see learn more. So it's convenient that this one just came up. But after that, you've selected essentially all of these, making sure Instagram feed, Facebook feed, Marketplace, where people are going to look. Instagram stories and Facebook stories, 50-50. That one's up to you. I would keep them in there. Next. So this is where we actually are going to create the campaign. So May Long, AC lead generation. So a few principles to understand in the copywriting and the advertisement itself. We need a hook. We need that incentive to get the client to go from cold lead, cold traffic on Facebook. So we're here, we're seeing this advertisement. Where's my incentive? Block face. So if I was running PPC campaigns, this would be great for me. Um, what's the hook that we're going to get the client into the sales funnel with? How are we going to get them into our leads and populate into our CRM, where we can have qualified leads like this coming in every single time we open up Facebook? So thinking about that, getting your content dialed in, coming over to Canva, you can just like search up a Facebook ad in this, or a little bit of a landscape portfolio, upload your pictures. I have one here from this client today. So this is what we made. And then where was the original? Bearing with me here for a second. I just have to find this picture. So on the philosophy behind the creative, making it as eye-catching as possible, but looking as organic as possible at the same time. So it doesn't scream advertisement, but it does scream, maybe this could be a good deal for me. Um, right here. Okay, so I'm going to save this one. I'm going to show you guys how we bring it into here. So upload your content into the Canva portfolio. You guys, is totally free as well. It's just a free sign up website. Get your content in there. Set it as the image background. Now the focal point here, we have a beautiful house, beautiful scenery. This right here is what we want to bring the attention to. So I'll show you just a few quick tips and tricks onto getting this stuff in here. Adding in getting in your logos and stuff as well. I'm just going to use this one for now. This is a different one. Let's just say it matches. And then, as I was saying, this is the content that we built for this client's advertisement. So just play around with it. It really doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to have this incentive that we're trying to reach and communicate to our audience. So simple as just moving this shape around into getting what you want. I'm really half-assing this, but you guys can play around with this more, or even have somebody on your team drop a few ideas is also really easy. But I'm sure you guys get the picture here. This is just one example. We are split testing this ad as well, just with the base picture. But it's really good to start split testing and making sure you're understanding why the results are coming in the way that they are. So let's head back over to here. So that one that I just showed you, I'm going to upload that picture first. The one right here. So upload from your files. Done. So next is this is what I was talking about earlier with your Facebook stories and your reels. Making sure that these fit properly is typically a really good option, or just not running them because they're not particularly going to drive that much traffic anyway. So in this case, I'm going to turn off those, and this will not matter. It's only be running on the timeline, like this one. Here's another ad. So it's just going to be running on the timeline. This is a competitor here, just doing conversions. So let's hop back into Ads Manager. Done. I'm going to go back to the manual placements, scroll down, and just get rid of stories and reels. Unless you're running video content anyway, especially for e-commerce, the trade stuff is going to be more oriented around the people who are on their Facebook timeline for the majority of their day. So now we need some copywriting. Walk you through the philosophy on how we're doing copywriting and how to make that hook and how people are going to read your ad in the first place. Because they're not going to sit there and read a block of text, paragraphs. It has to be very simple, very quick to the point in the first few iterations, and then from there, making sure that let me get rid of this. Okay, making sure that you have a very strong call to action. So I'm just going to select this copy right here that we wrote. I'm going to walk you through it. This is probably the easiest part because it is very gaze orientated. So having this first line here incentivize the person for why they should open up this ad and read it further. Summer will be here before you know it. With air conditioning units in short supply, make sure you get ahead of the potentially costly problem. There you go. So we're playing off of this advertisement in a situation where people are understanding that the current supply chain issues that are going on in the entire economy right now could affect them, could affect their comfortability in the future. So the leading is always splitting up your sentences. So instead of doing this is how that's going to look now. There is no chance that anybody's going to read that beyond the first few words of this second sentence. So just splitting that up and leading them into the next question by breaking it up, that blockiness. No more worrying about whether a clunky, noisy, inefficient air conditioner that never seems to cool the house evenly will last another season. Trust GAT heating to keep you cool. So that's very simple. Just a little tagline right here. Another problem, visualizing what the benefits could be. And you as the business owner, you look back and understand what makes the client's head click when you're in that room with them, when you're quoting them out. What's that benefit? What's that feature? What's that pain in their life that is so nagging that they need to purchase this air conditioner? We hit 4 or 5 right here, but I mean, if you're selling roofs, it could be leaks, it could be avoiding potential costly expenses in the future by saving now. It could be a wide variety of things. It's just making sure that you tell them exactly what problem you're solving, kick that knee a little bit on your leading paragraph, and then this one can be a tagline. It doesn't really matter beyond there because their eyes are going to skip right to click below to schedule an appointment. So I'm going to add in this one as well. I'm going to change appointment. Click below to schedule a free consultation. That one's going to work a little bit better. Utilizing the word free won't necessarily exclude tire kickers, but anybody who's going to convert anyway is going to see that. They're going to know it's risk-free, no high-pressure sales. That's essentially what we want them to understand. They're not going to be bombarded by 10,000 phone calls, maybe 3 or 4. So just making sure that they understand it's no obligation. They're not going to get a $75 fee for you guys showing up. That's the best way to do it. And then a headline right here. So that's going to show up right where my mouse cursor is. So you want a little tagline there. Play off of this last paragraph here as well. Um, um, let's say May long AC sale while supplies last. This can additionally be anything, and using your creativity and knowing these pain points here through speaking to your customers is going to allow you to pick the best tagline possible. And you can even go and have a look at some softwares that will write them for you and get a few ideas. So this one, we want get quote. Typically, we want them to understand what they're signing up for. So this right here is a lead form. So if you are brand new, it's going to have a problem here because you need to create one. Creating it is additionally very easy. I'll walk you through it. I'm just going to use the other one as a template though. So create your form. What job is it? AC generation. I would suggest switching this to higher intent as well. It's gonna get all of those very very soft leads out, and it's gonna only add one step into this sales form for them to give you their information and make sure that they're converting. But it will get rid of all the fluff leads of people who are quote unquote accidentally coming through as a lead, and making sure that they are able to um, know the information that they're submitting from the get go. All right, so this was the one that we had for our AC. You can see here it's going to show up just underneath the ad. Say goodbye to your old, outdated air conditioner. No problem. Stay cool this summer. Save money. Wide variety. This is just kind of like the secondary sales pitch. So you have another opportunity here to add in a few more benefits. Again, we added in the well supplies last because that's what's on top of the consumer's mind, we've noticed recently. So then we get into questions. You have these fields here to understand um, where they are. Typically, just having these three is the best bet. So having these three right here typically will increase your conversion rate. So making sure that your conversion rate is as high as possible. So when somebody opens up the form but doesn't give their information, that's going to decrease your conversion rate. Whereas somebody opens it up and submits their information is going to be counted as a result. So you're going to get your cost per lead based off of those people that go all the way through. So making sure that you have email, full name, phone number. I would I would highly recommend against adding this in here. If you're on the phone with them, you're going to be able to get their street address, and we set the boundaries to Edmonton. So everybody who is in the Edmonton perimeter is going to get that ad. We don't need to know that. It's just redundant information for us at that point. Whereas we can get these three main focal points for what we need off of the client for information, and we can go from there. So privacy, you're just going to hop over to your website and upload a privacy policy if you have one. Um, if you don't, I wouldn't sweat it. You can just put one in there in a few minutes. It's very easy if you have your webmaster do it. Just add it in under privacy policy. Forward slash forward slash. Okay. Forward slash privacy policy link text. This is going to link back to our privacy policy. So this is going to be our disclaimer on the website that we will be contacting them, and we will be contacting them electronically in the future as well for our email sequence follow up that we'll go over in the future to increase the closing ratio. So back to Ads Manager, privacy policy, and then they're going to hit their review screen. So this is what the high intent option does. Without the high intent option, they'd be done after that one and they can submit. Whereas with this one, they have this option here and then they have to slide the bar to submit their information. So if you get a lead in and you're using high intent and they say I didn't mean to, they just didn't want to talk too bad, which is no worries because those fluff leads are a very small percentage of what comes in. And then the qualified leads are a much higher percentage of what comes in the future. So, and then you can just link off your website here. What I would recommend doing is making a website page for your company that has all of your testimonials on it. And then orientating this last page around them having a look. Visit our website. Oh, a little bit of spelling there, no worries. All right. If this was going live, I'd be more concerned about it, but this is another good one, another good strategy. Instead of just having them kick off to your website, give an incentive here, or additionally, give another incentives, 25% off, um, whatever it is in the future. Just throwing out ideas here, and then you hit publish on that one. And I don't want a redundant one in here, so you hit that, and you hit publish. So once you publish, your advertisement's going to go live on the parameters that you set it to. So you could do time and date like we did right here to run for May long, or if you want it on for the indefinite future on a daily budget, you can do that as well. So then this is what it looks like when you're out of here and you're back to your home page with all of your campaigns. This is the one that we just built. It's scheduled to run. All of our analytics are going to come up here once it starts running. So you're going to be able to have everything in the back end here that you don't get, like I was saying, if you just boost posts off the front end of Facebook here. You have your conversion rate. So are people clicking into your advertisement, but they aren't submitting your information? All of these analytics come back here. The amount you've spent total, your engagement ranking on your advertisement. So understanding how is the marketplace interacting with your ad? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it bottom 35% because it isn't engaging and people are just scrolling past it? Do you have to change your content, make your content a little bit eye catchier to people stop scrolling? Or do you have to make a better hook for your first sentence? There's a multitude of things that go into this one, but just making sure that you understand the basics of what goes into it is good. And then the quality ranking is just how well is the ad sitting on Facebook and how much does Facebook like the ad. You can get spit out here all of your results, your reach, your impressions. So just to go to this one right here that we were running prior for the last few months. In Edmonton, we have 148,000 impressions. So that's many eyeballs, people we've reached. And then right here, you can see this ad set had to be changed up into this one because we were falling very short on all of these. This is an old duplicated ad set. So these were the new ads that just got uploaded today. The old one was just very rudimentary, without any of the copywriting that we were doing today in there. And then this one's set to an A/B split test. So you can see here, $28 per day, and making sure that we can get the best. You can see the small little screen right there on the content that we're running. This one's going to be more organic. This one's going to be a little bit more salesy. We'll be able to spit back all of these numbers here and just kind of make adjustments, make iterations. The most important thing is that you're staying in here and you're getting qualified leads. Everything else is just analytics for the sake of analytics, as long as you're making money. So that is the rundown from here to here. In the next video, guys, we will go over the campaign bookings and lead follow-up and how to set up your CRM, where to get your free CRM as well, so that you can set this up, have all of these opportunities auto-populate into here for you, so you don't have to touch anything. You just log into a Google Sheet. You can see how many new leads came in and start making phone calls, and then start tracking the value. So start seeing exactly how much money you're making off of your advertisements and staying up to date, in tune with your business, ensuring that you will have the most profitable advertisements and you're adding revenue to your bottom line. That's the biggest thing. Adding revenue to your bottom line. If you can't do it predictably, then you might as well go to the casino. Honestly, um, you have a business model, and you need to be able to predict how much money you spend to get X amount of dollars out. So within 90 days of running this system and testing advertisements and testing your marketplace, you should be able to say with absolute confidence how much money you need to spend to create a new lead and a new client for your company. So next video, as I said, we'll do a 3-part series on these: media appointment booking, lead follow-up, how to automate that through Zapier, and then how to set up your email sequences and how to set up your follow-ups. So very, very simple ideas here, but digging into it and making sure that you're staying on top of it as a business owner. That's where we get a little bit tricky, when guys don't want to follow up with the leads that they've been getting in, or even take the step to do this in the first place. So the fact that you watch this video all the way through, congratulations. This is the first step that you need to take to get the closed sales with this sales cycle. Although, as I was saying earlier, it will add profit and it will add revenue to your bottom line. So make sure you stay in here for part 2. We can jump into that one. For being on this call so long, I actually want to incentivize you guys a little bit further. Feel free to jump on a free call at the link below with Wilcia. We'd be able to answer any of the questions that you had in this video, help you set up some campaigns, and see if there's anything that we can do to help you guys make more money and help your company hit these ad revenue dollars that you want to be hitting every single month, right? So just having a look here, like, we have a whole bunch of CRMs here, guys, from our clients that we're able to generate tens of thousands of dollars for them every single month. It's just a matter of doing the math and making sure the math adds up for the job and service that you're doing, and calculating backwards right here. So if we have 20 leads, we close 25% of them at our most profitable job that makes us the most money, you're making an extra $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 a month next month. So as very simplistic as that seemed, that's the first step for you to start making money predictably for those jobs. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.